So the Headless Horseman needs a head. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Originally written by Washinton Ervin.
Washington Irving's classic tale.
And
Ichabod Crane.
Yes. Which, alright, in the Disney cartoon, Ichabod Crane looked an awful lot like the guy from 101 Dalmatians.
Yeah. Of course, it was the same animation team and artists and same art style.
Yeah. So what do you like about the story?
Oh, it's just one of those classic tales. You know, the Headless Horseman come in, needs a head, and he's coming after you to chop your head off and replace his head with yours, and you know, it's just a spooky tale. And
to me it seemed kind of disjointed, and especially the cartoon was like, okay, so how did he get this way? Because it kind of just dropped you right in talking about Ichabod Crane. And I'm like, okay, but how did this how did all this back stuff happen?
The Disney thing did focus more on Ichabod than, and
that is what I liked about the movie, the Tim Burton movie, which we're going to get to. So.
Right. But it is one of those classic Halloween tales that you want to share with the family.
Kids actually sit down and read a book. I know. Those things that are called books, they're antique. I understand, but people do still have them.
Right.
Some of us do.
And if you don't want to do the paper thing, I'm sure it's on your Kindle.
Oh my God, the paper thing. Wow. Right?
Anyway, but yeah, no, then Tim Burton made the film of it, and I wasn't overly crazy about it.
Why?
I don't know exactly. There was just something about it that just I lost interest in it. I don't think I even made it through the whole movie.
I don't think you did.
And
but what was the reason that you think that it wasn't compelling? Was it because it's Johnny Depp again playing another character?
Oh yeah, Johnny Depp is Tim Burton's golden boy, and he's in all of his movies and all that. But no, I like Johnny Depp's work in general. I really like his approach to his work and his character study thing that he does. You know.
Well, that worked in Alice in Wonderland, but not in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Not so much as Willy Wonka, but I mean.
Because you can't beat Gene Wilder.
Jack Sparrow.
Yes.
Was Keith Richards.
Yes.
You know, I mean, that was his character study. So I appreciate his approach to his work. It wasn't that. It was just something about the movie just didn't keep me interested. First, I don't know why, but because I'm a fan of Tim Burton's. I am. I love Tim Burton's movies in general, but he either hits it out of the park or he misses. He's kind of hit or miss for me, and Sleepy Hollow just seemed like a miss for me.
Weird, because it went more in depth as to how all this happened. The witch, the Hessian, which I was like, oh my God, that's so great, because historical stuff is just, even if it's fictional, then you can look in the history books and be like, well, they did have Hessians, and yeah, it wasn't just made up. It was nice.
It was based in actual real
reality.
Yeah.
Whether it's fictionalized or not, you know. But that's what I really liked about it, was that it was just a creepy kind of movie, but it wasn't like, you know.
Well, of course, you know, it was.
And Christopher Lee was in it.
Adaptation of
the story,
the original Washinton Irving, you know, very much like his Willy Wonka was
more on the book than
was more of an adaptation of the book than it was a remake of Gene Wilder, you know,
which you couldn't do, but yeah,
right. It wasn't a remake; it was just a retelling or a readaptation.
Yeah. Now, I thought it did kind of go off the rails at points, because, like, the whole, you know, windmill burning at the end, that was kind of, I was like, a bit too much. The bridge too far.
A little over the top.
Little too much. I liked, you know, when the witch gets stuck in the tree and all that, and fucking the Headless Horseman is Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I mean, I'm not trying to, like, oh, you're wrong. Because, hey, it's a Tim Burton film. It's either a yes or a no. There's no really, like, it's okay, but it's pretty much either it's a yes or it's a no.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
for the most part, with most of these movies.
Yeah.
I mean, like I say, I loved Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I mean, who doesn't love that movie?
Never seen it.
Oh God, it's great. And his Batmans were what they were. And
Ed Wood.
Ed Wood is one of my favorite movies of all time. Period. And
Watch our video on it.
Big Fish,
I
I thought was his most mature film.
was kind of bored with it. It was a little predictable.
Yeah, but I thought it was his most mature film. That's the way I like to put it. And Beetlejuice and all those great ones. But
Frankenweenie? Have you seen the Frankenweenie?
oh yeah.
Oh, I haven't. I haven't watched any of them.
But even Mars Attacks, when I came out of it, I was like,
Oh, I love Mars Attacks.
hell did I just sit through?
No, I loved it. Loved it. It was because it was so irreverent and just so, and there wasn't anything based on it except a card series.
Right.
There wasn't a story or an old pulp.
Which one of my boss, actually had almost a complete set of those cards when he was a kid in the 60s.
Oi.
He recognized it when he saw the preview.
Yeah.
He was jumping out of his skin. No shit. He
Like-
was, oh, that's from the cards I used to have. And he told me about it and all this shit. The Mars Attacks. And they even recreated images from the cards.
Yeah.
For the movie. And so, yeah, it was. But I came out of going, what the fuck was I just said? What was that supposed to be? Social commentary? Was it satire? Was it?
I just remember.
But you know what? I
Yeah.
still love the movie.
Yeah.
It
I
is
remember
great.
it was an age-appropriate Natalie Portman, so I'm like, all right.
I loved that the loud country music made their heads explode.
Hey, I'm right there with you, aliens.
it was
Believe
so
me.
great.
Believe me, I am. Because you know what they say about country music? It's proof that cowboys had sex with buffalo, or it's music that only people with 6 fingers can play. Anyway, no. So anyway, back to Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah, right?
Woo!
Well,
we went there.
You know, Tim Burton made the movie. And
Yeah.
like I said, I'd never made it through it. Maybe I should go revisit it. I don't know. Maybe I wasn't in the right mood at the time when I
Oh yeah,
tried
you gotta
to watch
be.
it.
Yeah.
And-
So in the comment, tell us: should Eric watch this movie again? Give it another shot, or say
Yeah,
no?
what do you think of Sleepy Hollow, the Tim Burton film?
Yeah. Is he right? And it's a hard pass, or it's a hell no? Let us know. With that, like, share, and subscribe.